raining at Göbekli Tepe.
But the sun shines on the ley lines.
I missed my flight at DIA.
And I was bogged down in Scapor Swamp.
It's good to meet you, codename S is Step.
A pleasure to meet the famous Agent Merlin.
Do you have package?
Indeed. 5 kilos of pure uncut aspartame, and 1 roll of microfilm so incriminating that even Rasputin would blush.
Microfilm is most important. Aspartame is for my cousin, Jimmy LaBloop.
Of course. And now if you'll be so kind as to remain still and keep calm, my associates from SIS are going to put you in manacles.
But number station said to me...
I'm terribly sorry, old chap, but I'm afraid that transmission source has been compromised.
Oh,
I know, I understand, and send my regards to the Bloop. Intrigue. That's how 90% of the meetings went.
Yep.
In the Cold War.
Yeah, that's how we won, because all the Russian spies were like, I am not a Russian spy. I am James Hedford. I work McDonald's. America.
Hey, I like get fat. Hey.
You watched that John Wayne making picture? It's such man.
I go home, I watch such titties on big, huge 50-inch television.
My wife, such nice titty. Yeah? Yeah?
Hey everybody, I'm David Flora.
And I'm Dave Stecco.
This is Blurry Photos.
That's right. You've dialed us in on our pirate band.
This is the most secretive and clandestine podcast.
I wonder if we'll get in trouble if we claim that we're the only, pirate hacker broadcast in iTunes.
Probably.
Yeah, we really pulled the wool over their eyes. We got through their security, and now we're broadcasting from within.
Man. We totally pulled the wool over their eyes, man.
Having said that, Mr. Apple, that we have submitted all of our paperwork and everything is in order, and we do thank you for your help with our podcast.
Yes, I do have triplicates at home. Copies of everything signed.
By the ghost of Jobs, I like you too. That's what Mr. Apple says.
Mr. Apple. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
We got some fun stuff for you this episode, of course.
I had never heard of this before you brought it up, and it's fascinating and it's awesome.
This is our jabs. This is what we do. We bring up this stuff you might not have heard of before and throw it around like a little volleyball.
None of you want to see what the inside of a pig's ass looks like, but come holiday weekend, everybody's happy to have some brats, right? So we're doing that dirty work for you.
Yeah, you can thank us later. Get us some tickets to the game.
And I just ruined brats for you. Flora.
Connect that dot.
Yeah.
Pig's ass. Brats.
Flora, tell them what they've won.
Well, you guys are in for a treat because this episode, the whole time,
every second,
we are going to be talking about number stations.
Numbers? I thought I left that behind when I quit high school.
Nope. Your teachers were correct. You are going to need this in the real world. But seriously, guys, there's no math involved here at all.
Number stations.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what they are, who controls them, why they're controlled.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some examples at you.
This is awesome. This, it's got just a hint of Lost in it.
Oh, yeah. That's in there. I got it from Fringe.
Shut your butt.
See, I haven't watched much of Lost. I've seen some of it, but I have watched the shit out of Fringe. You, I feel like, are the opposite, right?
Yeah, I used to watch Lost. I haven't watched Fringe, but it's on the Netflix, so I will watch it.
Yeah, so there's an episode of Fringe that deals all with numbers stations, and I've heard that it's in Lost, so hopefully we can cover all the bases with that.
Flora, let me ask you a question that has absolutely nothing to do with our podcast, but I'm going to make all of our listeners listen to this thing anyway. Is Fringe one of those shows that like starts out really interesting and then just depresses the balls off of you every episode?
Depresses?
Yeah.
No.
Because, I mean, like, I'm not a candy ass, but there comes a point where I can only, like, get psychologically sledgehammered so many times by what is now modern drama television. And, like, I can't finish, like, Dexter or Breaking Bad because every single episode just makes me feel so awful at the end of it that I'll never finish these shows. And I feel like that's modern drama on TV now.
I don't think, in my opinion, it will do any of those things to you. If anything, you might get attached to some of the characters and feel bad throughout the course of an episode or something,
right.
or a season.
Which is fine.
But it tries to tend towards the thriller aspect.
Okay.
Like each show might have some sort of cliffhanger on it that will make you be like, ooh, what's going to happen next? Yeah. As opposed to like, oh, God.
Yeah, the erosion of the human soul.
Shooting that kid now.
Yeah. He just did that. And now he's just got to keep living? Oh. Yeah, it just, I must be just becoming a big sissy pants because I can't handle it.
Well, but also, is it you or is it the state of writing in the industry these days?
Well, I think it's a mix because I don't watch TV much at all. I watch like maybe one show every 3 or 4 days right before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the last thing in my head before I go to sleep. So if it's like a particularly heavy Breaking Bad or something, like I just have awful dreams. So I'm like, F it, I'm out. But I also noticed that I think that a lot of TV is about the erosion of the human soul these days.
Wow. How meta.
Yeah, like I said.
So 90% of this episode about number stations.
Much like the aspartame, we are now going to start cutting it.
Let's talk about these things, what they are a little bit. Breaking it down. These are broadcasts that come on shortwave radio that happen day or night. They come in one of 3 types. The automated voices reading groups of numbers or letters. A Morse code transmission.
Beep, 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 beep.
Or noise and or data streams.
Really? So like old school modem sounds?
I guess so. Maybe.
That's my modem sound.
It's pretty good. There's a hint of dinosaur in there.
Yeah. Well, everything it has that I do has a hint of dinosaur because I'm a sexual tyrannosaur. So you just live with that. Try to sleep tonight.
Is that from a song or something?
Nope.
You just call yourself a sexual tyrannosaur.
Ballad of David Stecco.
All right. Now, typically these things will begin with some kind of music or maybe a monotonous tone that's played for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. Or it could have a voice repeating the same number over and over. And that's presumably to let the listener tune in to the station. So they hear it, it's a little garbled, they play with the dial a little bit.
Give them a moment to fine-tune it. Now, so I could just be like jacking around tuning a radio, and all of a sudden I hear, 7, 13, 22, 22.
If you have a shortwave radio,
yeah,
you would get it. But as far as a regular AM band, you wouldn't, because of the kilohertz that they're dealing with.
The frequency, yeah. So because the AM bands go up to 1700 kilohertz, and shortwave starts at 2000. So now, there's a gap there that you can't get in.
Right. And this is coming from 2 dudes who looked this information up.
Yep.
I really have no clue how frequencies and stuff, radio stuff works.
Sciences.
Oh gosh.
But nonetheless, so there's just these phantom broadcasts that just randomly crop up, chunk of numbers, and then they're gone.
Yes.
There's not like a regular schedule to them.
People have found regular schedules. It's not as regular as like, oh gosh, it's TGI Friday. Better tune in for step by step and then number stations.
That was awesome.
But people have been able to find some kind of pattern in terms of some of these stations when they come and go. In addition to the tone that lets you tune into it, they will then have a 2 to 3 number header, they call a header, which is repeated, and then the message itself, which is usually groups of 4 or 5 numbers, which are repeated. and then it'll have an ending indicator, which could be anything from music and or sounds to some form of the word end.
Or two guys just going, bye.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this thing, you can pick it up on the shortwave radio, and you're just sitting there, and then all of a sudden it's like, I like to sing about the music and the journey and the spirit. And then it's like 1, 18, 4, 42.
So, and these are not legit broadcasts. These are not done by a radio station. They're not part of a weather service.
In fact, one of the big things with these things is we don't know who's putting them out there. The ones that are spoken, the ones that you actually get words from and that aren't Morse code or aren't tones, they're transmitted in many different languages and many different types of voices, although a generally disinterested female voice seems to be the most popular.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Well, let's pony one of those up. Let's let the people hear what we're on about.
Yeah, here's what a number station broadcast kind of sounds like.
7, 18, 82, 3, and...
Just kidding. I provided the static on the vinyl record, though.
We're really good at this. Teamwork.
Here's the real sound, though.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Taken out of context in by themselves, pretty creepy.
Yeah, kind of creepy, but also like if you just ran across it, I would just think it had something to do with a crop report or some sort of diagnostic test of a broadcast dish. But it's none of those things. There are people who have spent their lives sort of obsessively tracking and recording these things. There are people really into number stations.
Sure. One of the creepy parts, or to add to some of the creepiness, it hasn't been confirmed by any government or organization as to what these are, but the general consensus is that they are covert transmissions to spies operating in foreign countries.
So it's like a cipher code.
Right.
Oh. Now, like you said, no government has confirmed this, but there was a member of the British government who did once comment on number stations and said that they're not regular broadcasts, and that if you're
not
listening...
in terms of like something for the public.
Right. They're not public broadcasts, and if you're listening to them, it is you who are breaking the law.
I love it.
Yeah, so, I don't know. In Britain, they have that cable TV detector van, man. They'll get you.
Drives around, sits outside your flat.
No, did you know this?
Wait, no, what?
That's a real thing. There's a tax that you have to pay to have the cable TV or TV running in your house, and they actually had trucks that would go around, and much like we have, they were checking, to put boots on cars, and they had they would check your house to see if there was the signal emission from a TV, and if they found it and they would check their records and you hadn't paid the tax, they'd issue you a ticket.
Wow.
You get a TV ticket in Britain. I hope I haven't mangled that horribly. So anyone who knows the details, tell us, and then be like, "Oh, Dave Stecco's heart was in the right place. I see what he was. I see what he was describing there. That's
Also,
a real thing."
If that is real, then please tell us about the cable Robin Hood. That
Yeah.
comes in. Free cable for all.
Yeah, because if there's one thing England needs is more episodes of Are You Being Served brought to the people.
What is that?
BBC people get it.
All right.
It's like this staple classic BBC sitcom, but it's really hard to watch.
Oh, okay.
I know some people who swear by it, but boy, it's like Marmite. There are people who love it, and then there's the rest of the world.
My gosh, your references are way off the charts today.
You're in Marmite?
I can't even. Yeah, I'm sorry, doctor, but I can't follow. You're gonna have to do the surgery yourself today.
It's that yeast spread they put on toast.
It sounds redundant.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna file this under the muesli thing.
Well, I hope some listener sends us an email defending me on this, that I did not make up anything that I just said.
Well, you know what? I'm not saying you made anything up, but good for you for being so learned in the ways of the world.
Oh, I'm a bit of an Anglophile, I am. I love England. I swear to God, this episode's about number stations.
So,
I promise.
85% of the
80%. Number stations.
These transmissions, though, they're sent using what's called a one-time pad.
Yeah.
These are random numbers printed on numbered sheets, and the messages are in encrypted kind of graph style or map style, where only two people have a copy of these sheets, one the sender and one the receiver. And the sender will pick out. It's kind of complicated to explain, although I think
it comes out to it being that this code is decipherable one time and one time only, and that particular cipher will only be used that one time, and then they move on. It changes.
Right. Yeah. What I was trying to say is, in practice, it makes a lot more sense than trying to explain it out. But as you just said, it's a one-time use for these things, and then that code, that encryption, is never used again. If it is used again, there's a good chance it will get deciphered.
Yeah,
and then
somebody will crack it.
Then your espionage is all bumbled. It's all fiddle-faddled.
It's bugaboo.
It's just bugabooed.
It's all tobogganed.
All right. So, how long have these things been going on? Well, it's been reported.
I didn't ask you that question.
Do you want to now?
78% of this podcast. How long has this been going on, Flora?
Well, oh God. So this has been reported since the First World War, and they continue to this day. You can still get out there on your shortwave radio and find them.
Which is crazy, because you would think that, I mean, I can even understand like Cold War through the 80s.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, isn't it all just pagers and text messages? Oh, but you can
those are
track that.
trackable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm the worst spy ever.
An organization called Enigma, which is an association of radio listeners in the UK during the 90s.
Oh, man, I was really hoping they were supervillains.
No.
Son of a bitch.
And Enigma stands for European Numbers Information Gathering and Monitoring Association. They assigned codes to known stations with letters indicating the language that was used. So an E would be for an English-speaking station.
Or Esperanto.
A G for a German. S for a Slavic-speaking station. V meant other language, any other language.
What about Spanish?
Well, Spanish was under V because S was taken and E was taken.
All right. Yeah, you
Sorry,
can't have
guys.
Espanol even.
They should have done H, huh?
Probably. Well, I mean, I just imagine, I don't know.
Well,
I guess Slavic, given the people involved.
Sure. Yeah.
That makes sense.
That covers more ground than just an R or a P or a C.
And to repeat myself from another episode, do not trust the Polish.
M is for Morse code, and so on and so on. So who would be controlling these and why? If you're putting the old dots together with lines here, and if it's spies indeed, then you would probably guess who would be controlling these things. Could be governments doing this.
Narco traffickers.
Could be drug cartels. Yeah, getting information to
across
the border.
That's what I was thinking, which is why I was so concerned about the Spanish language not getting on its own letter.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of them are Spanish these days, apparently, and it could be just straight up hoaxers. Like people maybe heard about this and then they're doing it themselves just to fuck with people's shit.
Absolute winner of the 2013 lamest prank ever.
Yeah,
Me and my boys, we get together and my dad's got this radio, right? After he goes to bed, because he's real touchy about it, we go up on the roof and we just say numbers, and it makes everyone go mental.
I like to play old songs from the Clash.
You know, there was a whole album before Rock the Casbah. You know that?
Do you know that, eh? Oi, listen to this.
Tonight, I even did like Google Translate, and I learned how to say like numbers in Ukrainian. People are going to go mental.
People are going to go totally mental.
Worst prank ever. There you go. There's.
So spies being the most logical reason comes from a few cases of documented espionage.
Oh.
I'll go through a few of them here for you. In 1988, you get a Czech spy named Václav Jelinek, and he was arrested by British Special Branch detectives while receiving a message on a shortwave radio in his apartment in London.
Oh.
They found one-time pads in microfilm hidden in bars of soap in his place.
That's extra spicy.
Yeah. It's got some spy heat on it.
Spy heat.
It's got the stench of spy all over it.
Thursdays on UPN.
Right after Veronica Mars. Reruns. 1998, the Cuban Five, who was a spy network from the WASP network of spies, also released the very popular ABC. As easy as uno, dos, tres. So the Cuban Five, agents of the Cuban
Ironically,
DGI.
in that group, Tito was the star.
He was the star. Janet Jacksone. All right. The Cuban DGI, or the Dirección General de Inteligencia.
Hola, me llamo es David Flores.
I don't know. You can't say General.
No.
General.
You just,
Dirección.
I say that because I got to read the Spanish part of last week's intro and just destroy it. And you were kind enough not to say anything to me, but I'm all about tearing you apart.
Oh, great. I see how it is. Gloves are off now. Sounds like it's time to kick some Fidel Astro. Yeah! I'm bringing it back.
I don't know where
hard.
that one came from, but I supported you.
So the Cuban Five, they were arrested and eventually charged with spying for Cuba using the numbers station Atencion. This is a station that is popular enough to have its own name. I think it comes on and it starts the broadcast with Atencion.
They had the name. Well, that means that means they're getting sloppy. If it's like always just coming up, if it gets a name, you're a bad spy.
I don't know. There are a few number stations out there that have been named. Besides Atencion, there is a weird one called Yosemite Sam that plays an old Bugs Bunny cartoon clip.
Oh, damn it. I was just hoping that it was like 1, a 17.
Yeah.
I hate spies. Yeah.
But yeah, that's not the only one that's named, let's say. But that's a famous one because they got caught. 2001, lady by the name of Ana Montes, a senior U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency analyst, was similarly arrested, spying for Cuba.
Whoa.
Senior U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency analyst. She got that high up, dude, and was a spy.
And it's amazing because the fun fact about this is that these number stations and these one-time pads, it's uncrackable.
Yeah.
By any means, as long as you stick and move with this stuff and you just keep using these one-time pads, you can't get caught, which is what makes it better than, like I said earlier, text messages or handing over data from computer to computer. You can never really wipe all that, but radio waves and a pen and paper, and you're off to the races.
The way that they track these people down is they do some counterintelligence themselves, which usually involves breaking into their places, their abodes, their places of work. And
so nice they don't have to do that anymore. You just listen in. It's all legal now.
And they find either these one-time pads or they find evidence of the spying that's going on. It's kind of like a wiretap almost. They're like, okay, we hear them doing these codes and they're receiving the transmissions. So there's something up with this dude. So 2003, get a guy by the name of Walter Kendall Myers, similarly charged spying for Cuba on a murder.
Cuba, back off.
2006, Carlos Alvarez, a Florida International University professor, and his wife Elsa, similarly charged spying for Cuba.
Dude, Cuba is terrible at this.
What do you think they're doing with it? Do you think they're selling information, or do you think it's for them?
Well, I mean,
because they're pretty tight with Russia, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they are anymore.
No,
everyone else has relaxed, and Cuba's like, no, we're not gonna. I don't know. On one hand, you've got a country that's very small with a terrible relationship with the U.S., but is poised right off at the coast. So it's in their best interest to know as much as they can about what we're doing all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but on the other hand, it's probably pretty lucrative. Maybe that's what they're using their proximity to use these shortwave one-pad systems to get information and then brokering that back out to the world. Maybe that's a profit center for them.
Could be.
I don't know, but they need to get better at it because they're getting their asses kicked.
Busted all over the place, yeah.
But good old American know-how.
Ingenuity.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So
those are some, and that's pretty recent there. 2006, yo.
Yeah. So, and I kind of love that there's this creeping up on 100-year-old technology that is still as unassailable today as it was then.
Yep. In the David Wise book, The Spy Who Got Away, apparently a former CIA officer spoke of number stations used by the U.S. He talked about one-time pads, transmissions sent from Virginia CIA headquarters, and some that were set up in Germany for the U.S., and tactics that they used, such as broadcasting codes to make other countries think that there were more spies operating than there actually were.
Oh, so just the presence of the code as a means to destabilize.
Yep, to make them think. Yeah, it's just head games. It's espionage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
And this stuff it's still going on.
It's still going on. And then there's the thought there as well that it's like, even if you don't have spies operating, or maybe you cut back your number of spies because you don't need them at the moment, you still want to blast out all these codes to make people think. And then when you do need them, maybe in the future, you can bump them up, and there won't be any lag. Also, some of these number stations just play a continuous tone, which is pretty unnerving. But people wonder why this is, why there are just, there's no numbers or anything, it's just a tone that's played. Well, there's only a finite amount of frequencies that are out there to use for these shortwave radios. So unless you're using it, you lose it.
Oh, so they're just like, well,
they could need it someday, so they just play a tone to reserve that frequency, basically.
So if we ever can't do our podcast for a week, you should just put up 60 minutes of beep, but it's actually a recording of us going beep.
Just beep. Okay. It's
shut up. Beep. This is for our vacation, dude. Just
quit breaking character. So while it is possible to track down some of these physical stations that they're broadcasting from.
Yeah.
Which usually, side note, lead to some remote military bases. We still don't know for sure who's sending them out, I guess. Because I mean, people that
Nobody's
are,
going to claim them.
Yeah, nobody's going to claim
Oh
them.
yeah, that's our spy. That's how we talk to our spies. Sorry about that. I should have told you ahead of time. Oh, I'm sure you
That's
were.
why there's no Canadian.
Sure, you're
spies
just
in there.
full of questions.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. That was just us.
I
Do you want this frequency? You can have it.
I was just about to stop, and I'm so sorry.
You beat me to it. Oh, we love you, Canada.
I do love Canada. Oh, if any of our listeners are Canadian and
I know you are.
I hope so. I would like to be a Canadian citizen. Not for any political reason. I just love Canada so much.
Can you? Hey, how about you write in and tell us how to make that transition?
I want to go to Canada. I love the climate. I love the people. The cities are clean and gorgeous.
I've heard the Vancouver film industry is actually pretty good.
Yeah, they used to shoot Stargate up there. What else do you need to know?
They I think still do shoot Lost Girl, which is the show that's right up our alley. And you can find a lot of references to what we talk about on that show. Go check it out.
I will.
It's still on. But anyway.
But yeah, the moral of the story is I've been to a number of Canadian cities and I love them all. 71% of
number
this
stations.
podcast is about number stations today.
If you have any work in the film industry that you would like us to do
68%.
in Canada.
Can we name this episode Countdown? If we drop below 50, we can't even say it's about numbers anymore. So
It's true.
We have to really focus
We got to
now.
focus up. We don't know if they are fake or hoaxes, but obviously they are being used in some capacity if people are getting arrested and charged with espionage for them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of them out there, though, besides the ones that you can prove. Again, could be somebody just funning you, or could be head games that are being played.
Yeah.
Who knows? We don't know who the recipients are, obviously, until we bug their house and find them.
Which we have already done.
And they would need to slip up pretty bad, for that to happen.
You know what? Let's just ask the Cubans how you get caught, because they seem to have the market cornered on getting busted doing this thing.
Let me play a clip from the
Give us some Atencion.
Yeah, let's see the Atencion station.
Atencion, 3, 8, 9, 5, 9, 0, 4, 4, 7, 3. Final.
ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. And as we've said before, the messages are impossible to decode without the one-time pad. And it's creepy, like I said, when you take it out of context. But in the context of the spy world,
I think it's still creepy.
The thing is, the voices that they use on here and stuff,
Yeah.
and like just random music.
There is something really weird about a dead station that just has like
The Lincolnshire Poacher. That's another named one because of the song that they used, which is.
I thought that was like the name of our next Victorian era cryptid.
Spring Hill Jack and the Lincolnshire Poacher.
As long as it gets its taste. Whoa. I do not care for that new ending. Waff.
It sounds like he rides around on shadow spiders.
Shut up about the shadow spiders.
So,
Now you see, people. You know what I think is really interesting about this is that at no point do you get any of the Democrats up in Capitol Hill, fat cats, trying to tell you that this is aliens, that this is climate change, this is legalized gay marriage, this is marijuana for everybody. No, this is one of the rare times where America stands tall for America and protects its own interest, and that this is exclusively known as a spy, a CIA, an NSA type operation.
and you see, I don't think any of our friends, the Republicans, I don't think any of them are claiming this.
Republicans? I've never heard that. I'm sorry, keep going. That's awesome. Oh, man.
You're getting Republican on Capitol Hill, and then everything just starts. It's spy this, spy that. And then they're spending our hard-earned money spending it. And they say the Democrats are spending it, but it's really the Republicans. There's this bipartisan bickering that I can't stand. It's un-American.
I like that. I'm surprised. We actually tried to dig because we're like, well, it's kind of mysterious. We're gonna have a Greek guy saying alien somewhere. No. Everyone's like, oh, these are so mysterious, but they're spy things. Everyone knows.
It's
spies.
pretty well
locked down.
Yeah, locked on. And like you would think that some of this would fall under like the mind control hat, or
New World Order,
Manchurian
reptilians,
candidate kind of thing, you know, or something like that. But really, it's kind of tucking nicely into the old spy bucket, and that's about it. It's putting up on the shelf. They put it in that warehouse next to the fucking Ark of the Covenant. You know, it's like
it's done.
That's it. So that really is number stations for you.
Yeah.
In a shortwave nutshell.
Yeah. Now,
what do we end up at? Like 65%?
68. 68. We did it. The FDA can still label this as a podcast about number stations.
The Food and Drug Administration.
That's right. Now, the listeners at home, get out your pencils and your notepads, because it's time for you to decode our puns.
Ooh, ow, ooh.
Flora, I went first last time.
Okay.
So
it's my turn to go first.
Yeah. If you think you're so tough.
I'm
telling you, I'm bringing some heat today.
You know, when you're sitting in your car and you can't, your seat, you feel this buzz or like a shaking, and it just leaves your butt without any feeling. It's shaking so much you have no idea where it's coming from, what's causing it, and oh man, it's so weird. Well,
it's so weird.
That's the numb vibrations.
Oh, because then your butt's numb. Yeah, I like that. That's a runner on base.
All right, good.
I like that. All right,
it's a solid single. I love that you hid this from me because you're so proud of it. You just revealed it.
Okay, I've got if your child is not as smart as the other kids at school, maybe they need a little extra help. Come on down to Dave Stecco's Dumber Stations. We pronounce the B because we don't know not to.
We don't know words too good.
Dumber Stations Learning Center.
I hope that the door has a pull sign on it, but you have to push it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. All right. So I'm going to try to see what I can do here with this one. I have a straight up kilt shop.
Sweet.
A shop where you can buy kilts.
Okay.
But the patterns on there, it actually is encrypted, and you can actually decipher these things. The kilt shop, it's called One Prime Plaid.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Okay, I've got a product for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. All of us ladies have our own little private world we live in. That's why I use Femme Fatale brand one-time pads. It's our little secret. Yeah! The crack of the bat.
I heard it. I didn't even have to turn and look. I knew it as soon as I heard the crack. Yeah. Well played.
Yeah. That's what I did today. That's how I paid the rent on this planet. Have we made any money off our beer and wine deal?
No. we got affiliate links up, you guys. Check them out. Gold Medal Wine Club. We're really pushing it, though. I mean, right. I don't know what's wrong.
If there's one thing this podcast guarantees is that you probably need a drink when you're done listening.
Yeah, or before. Mm-hmm. A few before, that'll...
I'll say this, actually. I was looking around, not by way of an ad, but I was looking on the beer one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great ad because I don't remember the name right now.
Craft beer company?
Craftbeer.net. I don't know what... I looked on there.
Okay.
And they have beers from the Wynkoop Brewing Company, which is an amazing brewery in downtown Denver. And it's this huge, beautiful old building and makes amazing beer. And underneath it is a Comedy Sports.
What used to be a because they don't.
Oh yeah, they change it over it's always the same thing. They just change the name. It's sometimes for a while it's called Chickenhead Theater or Screaming Jim Jam Theater. It's always this. It's always Comedy Sports. No matter what they call it, but it's in the basement of this place. So actually, I will personally guarantee that if you order the beer from Wynkoop, you will be so damn happy you did, because they don't actually export. It's not like you can go to a liquor store, even in Colorado, and get Wynkoop beer. So that is a score.
Wow.
I'm actually probably going to do that.
Nice. I might try it too, and then
and I like it too.
and then instead of we'll lose money to make money on it.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what podcasting's all about, right? Losing money. It's
about informing people.
Hey, you see, that's what they want. They want to make this into a money-making operation. I'm devoted to the truth of the listeners. You see, this is exactly what I told you about 6 months ago.
This is what the Republicans want you to think. This is what they listen.
Jowls, just jowls.
Oh man. So I guess that's our way of saying to hell with our jimble jamble. Let's see what the enlightened people who are somehow nice enough to send us emails have to say.
Yeah.
Well, hold on there, Flora. I don't want to alarm you, but using the Blurry Photos underground cryptography. Wait.
Say what?
Using the Blurry Photos ultra secret underground cryptograph one-time pad, I was able just to decode a few messages from the internets.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
They sound a little something like this.
Oh, the only thing I was getting on my shortwave radio was, I like to sing it. I like the bird and the tuna and the spider.
What do you
Nice.
got? What do you got? What do you got?
Well, I'll tell you what. We heard once again from Gray Cat.
Fancy Feast, I missed you.
Oh, hey, great to have another pun from you. Gray Cat hits us with what we were asking for a solid month last year.
Really?
Yes. We remember when we couldn't, when we wanted our listenership to come up with a name for Blanktober. Because just October wasn't cutting it.
Right, and the big mistake we had is we should have just been wishing for a listenership at that point.
Right. We were really ahead of the horses on that cart.
Whoops-a-daisy.
But Gray Cat has come through for us.
Nice.
Because the name that Gray Cat thinks we should go with, Blurry Photober.
Done.
I mean,
yeah.
How did we not think of
that? I'm sorry. I can't say done because we're not there yet. But we've got a real serious contender that at this point is what we're going to be calling our Magnificent October.
Right.
That's brilliant. And we didn't even come close to coming up with that before. So thank you, Fancy Cat.
I mean, T.O. is in October, which is also in photos.
Yeah, see?
It's, man, we're so glad you guys are here to pick up our stupid shit.
Yeah, no doubt. See, it takes a village to get this podcast rolling.
Thank you again, Gray Cat, for sending this stuff in, and don't stop. What else we got this week?
We got a great letter from a new villager.
Ooh.
Yeah, our friend Gerald.
Well, new to writing in. Could have been there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I love a lurker.
Secretly waiting, watching in the corner. You're like that ranger at the table over there with that smoke encircling your head and that hood's drawn real low. Stop now.
Are you Aragorning this? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I don't know. Somehow, yes. But
someday, Flora, I'm going to convince you to read all that erotic fan fiction you'd write. We'll find a time. We'll find an episode that it works on.
The smoke encircled his head and his cowl.
Yeah, the first one was called Feeling Aragorny.
The second one is called Hairy Feet.
Ugh. Never mind. You win. I don't want those red. Back to someone who is far better and literate. Gerald hits us with a great email about our Tiwanaku episode. It's hard to say anything after Tiwanaku. Gerald makes a great point about our Tiwanaku episode. He says, every time I hear someone say ancient humans couldn't have done that, I cringe. We've done some amazing stuff with what we had within just the last 2,000 years, but that doesn't mean we were idiots beforehand. And that's exactly what we were talking about. Yep. And he's absolutely right. And as he said it better than we did, until I get introduced to an alien and can sort out for myself if it's an idiot or not, human ingenuity and skill will remain my primary suspect in these cases. Well said.
Well put indeed.
Welcome aboard, sir. You should send us more emails.
Yeah, please do. Great. Thank you guys for writing in. And anybody else, if you have any observations, if you have a pun, if you have a show suggestion, whatever you want, send it in to us. If you're just like, I had a turkey sandwich just a little bit ago. It's not sitting well on my stomach.
I want to know about
just
that.
Just wanted to tell somebody. You can tell us.
What about that picture you took and you're like, man, I don't know if this is quite good enough for Instagram. Send that to us.
Why not?
Don't filter it, though. Those are irritating.
You know what's deco? We're over 100 likes on Facebook.
Gaboom!
That means we got a letter and a lock of hair coming to us.
It's right, from the Queen.
Her Royal Majesty. England.
Yeah, we also asked her to confirm or deny the true history of Spring-Heeled Jack. So maybe we'll have an update.
We also asked her to confirm or deny whether she is a reptile or not.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe we'll get a lock of hair or a handful
of scales.
Of sloughed off scaly skin.
Oh, molting.
Ugh.
Disgusting. Thank you guys for liking us. And
yes.
You should send friends over to like us as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for your correspondence. We actually really do enjoy it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it, but I remember when you were like 9, how jealous you were of your parents getting mail and how kind of quietly irritating it was. They were like, oh, well, you just wait until you get mail and you're going to hate it. Well, we like mail.
We're like the Nintendo Power of your lives.
Exactly. Oh, man, there was no better day than getting that thing in the mail.
So give back.
Yeah. Make that happen again.
Wonderful. You guys, you can be great, wonderful human beings.
Do it.
If you go like us on Facebook.
Yep.
Super easy.
The Twitters and the emails and the Facebook and MySpace and Friendster and LinkedIn. We are in none of those things except for the ones that we've listed every other podcast. So
Blurry_photos on Twitter. Blurry Photos Podcast on Facebook and YouTube.
That's it.
Like and subscribe.
Do all those things. Oh, and write us an awesome glowing review on iTunes.
Sure.
That means a ton to us.
Really, it means a lot to us, but also makes us look like we know what we're doing.
Right. And you know what? It's okay that you're not participating in a lie because we don't know what we're doing. But the people won't know that until it's too late. And that's the important thing.
If somebody's on the fence, I could listen to another Mysterious Universe episode, or I could try something new. Mm-hmm. But I need someone else's opinion to tell me if I should do it or not. See, that's where you come in.
Those Australians' accents are interesting, but what if I wanted to hear 1,000 weird accents poorly done?
Ooh, this is perfect. So... do that. Great. That's all we got, I think.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this and number stations. 68%.
Yeah, solid.
Better than pink goo in a hamburger.
So for this episode of Blurry Photos, I am David. Uno, dos, tres. Flora.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, man. And I am David, the wiliest Cuban spy, Stecco.
Oh, don't get caught.
I'm on a run.
4, 7, 9, end. What are you doing?
I just, that is a good one.
As good as that fucking dog.
That dog will never stop because it was sent to stop us. You want to know what, though?
What?
They found me in the woods because I was raised by wolves. What, you want to mess with me? Y'all are fools because you don't know about me, dude. You don't know about me, dude. It's really in your best interest to watch it Workaholics someday.
Again, with the references that are just outer space, man.
Who are you?
What's going on?
Is the dog still barking?
No.
Okay.
Was that meant for the...
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it was for the dog?
Yeah, I was just killing time while the dog barked.
Great. All right.
Oh, you thought that I was trying
I thought
to...
that was what you were, like, giggling about.
No. No.
Good. Oh, okay.